While some folks are lining up for the FDA-approved Pfizer vaccine, others are trying a different approach to fight COVID-19, animal dewormer.
Now, some dewormers, particularly for large livestock like cows and horses, include a drug called Ivermectin. Now, Ashlyn Webb's out to verify, is it safe to take Ivermectin to prevent or treat COVID-19?
Never thought I'd have to do an explainer on why people should not use animal dewormer, but here we are. Several feed stores in central Georgia say they're sold out of the drug called Ivermectin. One employee at the Tractor Supply in Byron told me they can't keep it on the shelves over the last few days. I called over a dozen stores until I found a small mom and pop feed store. When I asked the employee if they had it in stock, he said yes, but he asked, "Are you buying this for an animal? Ma'am, please don't say you're buying this for COVID." That's where we are right now. Folks don't need to be consuming this stuff, but don't just hear it from me. Let's hear from the experts. Our sources include the FDA, Dr. Gaylord Lopez, the executive director of the Georgia Poison Center, and Randall Tackett, a UGA pharmacy professor. Dr. George Harrison, chief medical officer at Fairview Park Hospital in Dublin, said in a statement that so far they have not had cases of people being poisoned by the drug, but they have had several patients come to their ER that are taking the drug.
People are playing Dr. Google, and they're thinking that they can read an article, they can read a post, and all of a sudden it's got to be the truth.
That's Dr. Gaylord Lopez, executive director of the Georgia Poison Center. He says typically they get under a half dozen calls about ivermectin in a year.
But in the month of August alone, we've had 15, 16 calls through today on questions about ivermectin.
This trend has led the FDA to send out a warning, tweeting Sunday, "You are not a horse, you are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it."
When you see a picture of a cow or a horse or a sheep, it's amazing to me that people would rather, trust what they might have read on the internet as opposed to, learning more about just how effective the vaccines are.
Lopez and Randall Tackett, a UGA pharmacy professor, say ivermectin is sometimes prescribed to treat humans with some conditions.
Parasitic roundworms, head lice, skin conditions like rosacea.
But there we're using a very limited dose, and we're taking into account all the other things that are there.
But the difference is the dosage for humans and animals. This product we bought from a feed store is clearly labeled only for horses and can treat an animal up to 1,250 pounds.
They are making up the dose, or they're coming up with a dose someone else has suggested. Many of these animal medications may actually be at concentrations much higher than what a human would normally use.
Ingesting the drug can lead to nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, low blood pressure, seizures, or even death, according to the FDA.
In some cases, depending on the disease state you might have currently, or the underlying medical conditions, or even the medicines you may be taking a product like ivermectin can interact with these drugs and cause a whole host of problems.
And last but not least, ivermectin is not an FDA-approved treatment for COVID-19. So we can verify, no, animal dewormers are not safe to use to treat COVID-19. As for if ivermectin can potentially be used to treat COVID-19, Lopez and Tackett say that's what researchers are still looking into. But as of now, there are too many unknowns about this drug being used to treat the virus, and it's unsafe to use to treat COVID-19. Back to you.
The Georgia Poison Center helpline is 1-800-222-1222. And if you have something you'd like us to verify, send us a message on Facebook or email us at news@13WMAZ.com.